I'm a silver partner, which means they've got about over, I think it's about 50 clients on Xero. So that's good. I was pretty proud to jump on the Xero bandwagon early. I know this other accountant who sort of looks up to me, and he knew that I was one of the first 5 Xero advisors listed in Adelaide, and he said, "Oh, you were right up there, right at the start of the Xero days." So
yeah, that's good. When was that?
I'd say it would have been about, when did I start? I reckon about 2012, something like that.
Yep.
Yeah, so good 8 years ago.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we're going to talk a little bit about Xero, some of its good things and why I think it's good, and then we're going to pop into Xero and I'll show you some tricks.
Yep.
Go over how much it costs as well if you want to know.
Yep.
Yeah, so yeah, Xero's obviously been one of the major players in the accounting software industry, along with maybe pushing aside people like Maya who had it a lot over the 90s. There's others called Sasu, which is big in Sydney, but I don't really like too much personally. But also, I've got one client on that. Also, there's QuickBooks and others like Sage and Wave. Wave's a free one, which yeah, used to be ATO free one, but that's probably not around. Cashbooks as well is still around, but yeah, lots of them out there. Obviously, one of the greatest things about having a Xero is it's an online, what they call an online or clouded software. So it's not really on your desktop. And the benefits of that is that it can be easily collaborated on and shared to, say, your accountant or someone who helps you manage or run your business, or some of your staff as well. So that's a good thing. It also integrates your money in and your money outside, so your sales and purchasing. You can order things and you can invoice things and keep a track of paying things, as well as sending statements and reminders to sales. So have you got any sales invoices, Ali, or you just pretty much get paid on the day?
I do invoices for some people, especially my coaching and consulting clients. They often want invoices, or I offer them to them, or they want a receipt or something. So yeah, I do generate. Sometimes I generate it in advance, and sometimes I do it on the day or after receiving the money. But yes, I do use invoices.
So yeah, a good idea is, and this is really good for all businesses, is to try and have regular invoicing. So for instance, if you've got management or say you're booking in someone for a regular service, you can do what's called repeating invoices, which basically you automate, and they can either go out just straight away to the clients, or you can have them set as drafts. So they'll just pop up and you'll see them as draft, and that'll remind you maybe whether you've done that service or you finished the consulting for the week, for the month or week, whatever the regular period is. So that's something useful. And also I was going to say that it is useful to use this to send statements to people as one of your earliest sort of be nice reminders for someone who may not have paid yet. And make sure you know that someone hasn't paid yet. Make sure you've got your systems in place so that you know you've got everything up to date. So another good feature of Xero is bank feeds. So most Australian banks can be connected to Xero, which means every night, overnight, transactions from your bank account come into Xero. So obviously it's a good framework to have a bank account whereby you're spending everything for the business in. So that you have a good framework to know all your deductions in the business. And of course all your income. So all your money going into the account is a good way to pick up all your income as well.
Yeah, I like it because it shows my income over a month or a year. I can see it going up and down and gives me the bigger picture.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. So the bank statement transactions come into your software, and really you just have to choose the account and the GST code it needs to go to, which doesn't apply to you, and in some industries as well. You may not be GST registered. It also learns your regular transactions. So if you're buying a certain supply and a certain name's coming up, or it could be a petrol station that you're going to all the time, it'll learn that goes to a certain account, and you can override that, of course, but it does learn your habits. And then one of the great things about Xero is you don't have to worry about anything. It takes care of all of it itself. A bit unlike Mild, you do need to do a lot of upgrading on your desktop to have their versions upgraded onto your desktop, which is quite annoying. Xero, you don't need to do anything. They're working hard on updating it, and you'll be advised of those changes, but they're doing them all for you. The software will just run automatically for you. You don't need to change anything. You don't need to do backups because they're guaranteeing that your data will always be there. And it can be used on any computer or device, smart device, anywhere in the world with the internet. So you can be overseas, obviously, still access it quite easily. And obviously desktop versions don't have a lot more features than your smart device versions, which is which is mainly designed for invoices on the run or on site and things like that. So yeah, so no need to update or backup, and there's also no need to do anything extraordinary to give it to your accountant. You just invite them in and they can help themselves with their information, which is good. And that leads us to one of the big benefits is you can have that live relationship of not only running your business better by having current information on how your business is tracking right now, because it's easy to keep up to date. So you've got that live information, and it helps you know the scoreboard of your business, and having that live information can help you make the right decisions, whether you're winning or losing. For instance, over a critical time like Corona, you need to have information to prove your JobKeeper claim, for instance, or just in general. It can help you grow your business, and you can set targets to grow your business, like through budgeting. So, yeah, sorry, what was that?
It made it very easy for the JobKeeper. I've had other friends who've had a lot of problems getting the JobKeeper payment because they didn't have a wonderful accountant like you who would do it for them or help them do it.
Oh, that's nice to hear. You might have to write me a little testimony on that. Yeah, it's good to hear. Yeah, I helped all my clients for free for JobKeeper, which was
that was great.
We tried to streamline it as much with the questions so that it made it easier it just really became a data entry exercise, but still had to learn everything and know how to do it and advise people. Got lots of questions on it, but yeah, that was good fun. Still going, really. Yeah.
Yep.
And Xero, you can have unlimited users, so there's they decided to make it different than Maya, who was charging on a per user basis. So yeah, you've got unlimited users of Xero. You can invite as many people as you want into it, but typically most people don't. Most small businesses just invite their accountant, and if they have staff, they have staff as well. Okay, sorry, you were about to say something?
I've got a question, but I'll ask that later.
Sure. Yeah, so obviously one of the great things about Xero as well is that it gives small business not only a quick way to keep its bookkeeping up to date, but it's an integrated approach. So many businesses who start out try and use the spreadsheet approach or do their book or the shoebox method. And this can work for them, and yes, they do save a little bit because there is software costs, but it may take a lot longer to do this. But one of the major drawbacks of it is you're not reconciling to bank transactions, and you may not also be able to do it quickly and have bank feeds, so it saves you a lot of time. And also one of the major advantages of having Xero is well-designed software that integrates everything you need. So to use spreadsheet, it'll take a long time to evolve it to take care of debtors and GST and do invoicing, whereas Xero is all set up to look after your bank transactions, do your money in and out, look after payroll if you've got payroll, and give you your up-to-date reporting, so it's easy to keep your scoreboard up to date and you've got reports on how you're doing. And if you're GST registered, you can do VAT returns easily. And you can also do other things. So if your business really grows and it's very specialised in an industry, you can add on software to Xero as well for particular industries. Yeah, so just I think I've mentioned most of these features already, but yeah, it's basically a general ledger system, so your accountant can produce financials from, or you've got reports to produce financials. It automates most Australian banks to have a bank feed, so all your transactions are coming in overnight. And I've honestly found that Xero's bank feeds are very reliable. There is an odd day here or there that a bank may let it down, but it's generally like a train on time. It's easy to keep your bank reconciled and enter your transactions. Obviously, you can do your money in and money out, accounts receivable, invoicing, and there's many features on your invoicing, such as reminding people to pay you. You can make batch payments, so if you want to pay more than one person or pay more than one payroll of staff, you can do that as well. You can help you do your VAT returns, obviously doing your monthly reports, which is, making your business really fun by having the scoreboard. If you don't know your scoreboard, business isn't fun because you're just sort of flying blind and you don't know how things are tracking. But giving you those numbers, can make you feel good and lets you know the full picture as well. So I found a lot of businesses who don't have a good accounting system, they really tend to over-focus on their sales side and they're really underestimating their expense side. So if you've got the full picture of your income and expenses, that's really important. I think using budgets on Xero is a good tool. It's a great way to activate your goals that you've set for your business. Let's say you want to grow your business turnover to, let's say, 100,000 or whatever it is. You can then translate that into monthly targets, and that gives you a roadmap of how to get your business to that goal. So setting budgets, particularly sales side or profit side with the expenses as well, is a really good way to grow your business. You can also let other people do expenses for you and reimburse them through Xero, your staff obviously. You can look after projects and jobs. You can also manage your contacts in Xero, although you may not do that too much, but you definitely want to have some detail like your business's names and emails, so you can send out invoices, for instance. You can add fixed assets. You can look after many currencies if you're dealing internationally. You can do pays and pay staff. And I mentioned earlier, you can add on staff for specialist kind of industries. All right, well, it's time for you to ask me your questions and I'll jump into Xero and give you a bit of a demo.
Yeah, okay. So the first one is how do you do the budgeting? I've never really used that aspect of it because I don't know how to use it. I do a budget for my own personal finances. I have for many years, but I don't know how to use it in Xero.
Okay. Just jumping into the right screen, won't you see? Okay, can you see a Xero screen?
Yes, that's enough.
Demo company.
Oh.
All right, well, let's jump straight into what you asked about budgets. So budgets are now, they recently changed the menu structure, but it's now under reports. So we go into reports. And there's this one here, budget manager. under financial. Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Yeah, I just saw the screen shaking and I thought maybe something was wrong.
No,
We're
you're
going into
on.
the budget manager.
I've got a little picture of you in the corner, and that's maybe a bit blurry, but what you're showing on the screen is clear now.
It's okay, yeah.
Yep.
And once you're in budget, basically you can just add a new budget, for instance. So let's say you want to do one for next year, Ali, you can do one for, and you can call it 2021, for instance. And then you basically plug in the numbers that you want in here, this little template, you know, and you can maybe use last year's figures as a bit of a guide. You can play with it and update and save it. And then once you've done that, you can then run a profit and loss. We'll go into, I won't have it, but I'll just show you that in profit and loss.
Yeah, hang on, just slow down a bit. I haven't done this before. So how do I get to use last year's figures as a guide? Would I have to print them out and have them there, or can you put them in this?
No, you just use see there's actuals, just use actuals.
Oh, okay.
There may not be data in this one, but yeah, there's no data in this demo, but that's
I just have to know how to do it, because so I do. So I'd start off with actuals for 6 months, or
you can set your own. Do you want to base it on last year, or do you want to do it as?
Yeah. Let's well, that's a good place to start, because I have no idea.
All right. Well, look, yeah. Look, you just basically add in. You see how I put in the actuals for last 6 months. So that's put on all these figures. And if you want to change any, you can change any.
So it's put in.
Save it.
It's what it's done is it's taken last year's and plonked it into projection, and you can just change. Oh, okay. So that
would you just go and change your budget, particularly your sales or whatever you want to do. A budget is a guess, so it's up to you.
Yes. Yeah. Use actuals 3 months or 6 months. And so you do an overall budget.
Oh, that's just a name that's come up. If you want to change its name, you just drop this box down and add a new budget.
Oh, okay. Yep. All right.
Yeah.
So I got that or. So that's an or. All right. Well, that looks easy. And then you just save it, export, import.
Save it. And then when you go back into reports and you do a profit and loss, for instance, you go into profit and loss. And you have, it's coming up here, and then you can do a comparison. Let's just try and get it.
Compare. So what do you compare with? One period or?
I'll just go to a report I like more than this one. That one's pretty simple and it doesn't have the budgets in there. So the report I usually use to do budgets in, it's called management report. So we'll just go find that. Management report. It's under accounting. And then on the page of this, which is the third page, so we'll go into the third page, profit and loss, and we can go to and compare it with. So we go into the show date range.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. We go into compare periods, sorry. And then we've got this budget here. So we can put overall budget and then update it.
Right, okay.
And then the budget will then appear against your actual. So over here, if you can see the actuals only 12,000, but the budget was 12. So it's telling us you're $7,000 down at the moment.
Okay.
So yeah, that's a good little idea. Is that something you want to implement?
Possibly. I'll try and do it.
I'll give you a bit more help if you need some.
Yeah. I'll see how I go.
I'll give you the concepts today without
Yes.
showing you every step of the way, but
That's good.
I can show you more. Something I wanted to teach you was how to use Xero support. So a lot of people don't know this, but see the question mark, that help button. If you press that, that'll bring up this little.
No, hang on. I can't see. Where are you? Where?
Top right corner. There's a. Sorry, you may not see my mouse moving.
No, top right corner.
There's a help button.
Hang on. I'm just moving the pictures. So where is it now? Oh yeah, info. Yep. Yeah, I do know that one.
Yeah, on the far right, on the top, just next to your icon or avatar, there should be an icon called help.
Help.
So I've pressed help, and that's populated this little menu, the help menu.
Yeah.
Now you can search through articles, which is get support on Help Central. You can find an advisor, but you've got one already. But this is the one I was talking about, Contact Xero Support. So if we press that, it'll bring up a little contact form. Yeah, so depending on what your problem is, if there's something specific, you obviously have to detail them to them as best as you can and describe it in these boxes. So there's a choose a topic, so you try and find a topic it relates to. So let's say it was you didn't know how to reconcile your transaction and enter a bank. You could do that, and then you ask a question. You could say, I don't know, can't do this. And then you can say, because it breaks, or whatever you want to say.
These might help. It comes up immediately on the right. These might help.
Yeah.
Can't see a bank.
Yeah, that's right. And you may go through that. But if you've still got a specific problem you want someone to answer you back on, you can do that. You can see this section here, invite Xero support into your organisation. If you want them to come in and actually see a transaction, then you tick that box.
Yeah.
And you could share it with Romeo if you want, your accountant, or someone else if you like. And you send that, and then they'll get back to you within a day.
Okay, that looks good.
I find it very good. You know, there's sometimes there's things I can't help clients with it. There's like a software bug or something like that, and I just send it through to them.
Okay. My next question is, how do I add? I've just got a new Visa card, and so how do I just add it as a new bank account type thing?
Yeah, sure. All right, so we go accounting.
Yeah.
Chart of accounts. All right, and once you're in chart of accounts, you press this add bank account button.
Oh yeah, I think I've done that. Yeah, that's right. I just haven't done it for a while. All right, but I do it.
Find your bank. What bank did you want?
St. George. Yeah, that's there.
You press St. George.
And then
give your credit card a name.
Yeah.
Give it an account number.
Yeah.
And you then on the account type press credit card.
Yeah.
And you only need to put the last 4 digits in for security purposes.
Okay.
And then you continue, and then that's done. And then once that's set up, you then need to press the Get Feeds button, and depending on your bank, it'll lead you into the process.
Yeah. Well, it's replacing my MasterCard. The bank sent me a new card, and I went, oh, that's funny. This one. The old one hasn't even run out yet. And they said, no, it's replacing it. So it's got a whole different number, and it's a Visa instead of a MasterCard. And they say it's because there's new features and we have to change it to that. But yeah, anyway. So I'll leave the other one, the old one, in for a little while until I get until it's all finished, and then I'll just leave it, I guess.
Sure. Well, that's yeah. Make sure you get the bank feed activated on the new one then as quickly as you can. So you may miss some transactions in the meantime, or maybe don't use it too much until you get your bank feed connected.
Yeah, I haven't been using it much anyway. With all this, I haven't been shopping. I haven't been buying stuff. But the good thing is I've been paying off some of my credit card debt. So yeah, I've had the money to do that.
Back to the dashboard. The dashboard obviously should show you how much money's in the account, how much money's in the tank, if you want.
Yep.
You can have an account watch list. So if there's an account you want to keep an eye on, a particular, you could have I know you've got different sales accounts. You can keep an eye on the different ones, or you could have them here so you know what's happening on at a quick glance you can see what's going on this month and year to date. And you can have a look in what money's owed to you and owed to others at a quick glance. So for in this example, there's 11,000 owed to them, and they need to pay 9-ish. So yeah, and you could take urgent action on the red ones which are overdue, for instance. And down here's the expense claims. You can use expense claims just for yourself if you want to, for instance, download an app called Xero Expenses, and if you go to Bunnings and buy a pot and it's tax deductible for you, you can use the app, take a picture of the receipt, and when it comes out your account, you can match it to the expense. So it's another way of quickly entering bits and odds and sods.
Oh, that's good. What about what used to be called petty cash? Would that be good for that? Things that I buy for cash that otherwise wouldn't show up.
Yes, you could, but that's designed more from it to come out of your bank account. You can set up a cash account, but you'll have to manually do the transactions because there's no bank feed for it, if you know what I mean.
But what I'm saying is...
You could set up another bank account called cash and make money go into it, let's say $300, and then spend it and take it out. So if you wanted to do that, you could do that.
But what I thought was for an expense claim, because I remember when I did used to work in an office, sometimes the people would come in and they'd have an expense claim because they'd been away or something and they'd bought stuff. So that it kept it all together, they'd just say, oh, well, you know, when I went to Queensland, I bought this.
That's exactly what expense is for.
Yeah, but if I could do that for myself and say, well, when I went to Queensland, I do this. I mean, I usually now use my card, but I used to just take out $100 and I just put it down to travel expenses, and then I would spend that, and that would cover the petty cash stuff. But if I did an expense claim where I put all those things in, or did it through that app, I'll have a look at that app.
Yeah, it's an app called Xero Expenses. So
yeah,
you do that. You know, you can do it. You can take a picture of the breakfast you have when you're interstate, and
can you do that retrospective?
And when it comes out of your business account, it'll just match up. So.
Yeah. But can I do that retrospective? So if I went to Queensland 3 months ago...
No, it's got to come out of your bank account. So,
yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So if I went to Queensland, I had 3 receipts from Queensland and they totaled $98. If I put them in the app and then raised an expense claim for $98, would that work?
Yeah, but you haven't done it. You haven't put it in your accounts yet?
No.
As long as you haven't put it in your accounts already, yes, that's fine.
Yeah, that's right. I haven't put it in. I mean, as I said, what I used to do was just take out 100. But sometimes I'll buy something and I'll use cash for it. And then I'll go, well, how do I get that into my bank? So Yeah, raising an expense claim could work quite well with that.
Expenses though is one expense claim per receipt. Whereas if you want to do a batch of them, then you're probably better off just taking money out of the business account, reimbursing your private account, and then putting in 5 lines for the different expenses you want to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, got it.
So expense claims more for the one-off, the petrol, or
yep.
You know, one little receipt. I think if it's a small receipt, expense claim is good for it.
Yeah, petrol I usually just pay with the card anyway.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's also very good for being paperless. If you, I don't know if you're doing that, but if you want to get paperless, you can, expense claim is good. Or also you can add invoices to your money in and out invoices. You can put the PDF into the invoice, and you don't have to keep any paper anymore. That's something you can think of implementing one day if you want. Otherwise, keep them in a box.
Then I don't have to do all the filing. Okay.
Well, that's all I wanted to go through, Ali. How was that? Did you get something good out of that?
Yeah, that was good. I got
any tips, feedback on what I could do next time?
Yep. My suggestion is that you put this, maybe edit some of my personal stuff out at the end, but put this on YouTube.
I already have made one yesterday. I'll send it to you.
Yeah.
If you want to watch it again. That one goes for about 20 minutes. A bit long for people to watch, but I've got it. If someone's serious about getting Xero, they'll probably want to see it all.
But once you put it on YouTube, you can put the link on either your email or send it to people. I think it's a good resource to have.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Yeah, I've already got it. I'll send you the YouTube I made yesterday when I was practicing doing this. So, yeah, of course, yeah. YouTube's great.
I can give you some feedback. Now, just the other thing that I wasn't going to ask because it's not Xero related. When you went to the help part, it said something about, if you've got any questions about JobKeeper, click here. But I thought, well, if I've got you, I can ask you. So I can start work next week. And I think I did ask you this before, and maybe it's changed, but when I start working and start earning income, how can I stop JobKeeper? Or will it keep going and then I have to pay it back, or what?
Once you are entitled to JobKeeper, it's just entitled based on 1 month 30% reduction. So you remain in JobKeeper system while the government's providing it. So if you're booming again after it, then that's fine. You're still entitled to it.
So we won't have to pay it back, or will they sort it out? Because it's coming from the tax office, does it get sorted out at tax time?
It's accessible income to the business. So is that what you're asking? Okay. Yeah, it's not tax-free. It's like income.
Right.
No GST on.
Right. So it's accessible income. So they will. So at the end of the year, at the end of the tax year, they'll work it out and include it in the tax calculations.
Yeah, the ATO will obviously know about your JobKeeper payment. They're the ones administering it, so I don't think they're going to miss you not declaring it. Is that what you wanted to know? Yeah, you need to declare it as income.
Oh yeah, well I will, but I'm just trying to work out if I'll
I'm not sure what your question is.
I have to repay it.
Oh, well look, it's self-assessed, so if you assess yourself as 30% reduction and you've met all the rules, then you won't need to repay it because that's the law. Obviously, if you've done something wrong and they audit you, perhaps you might have to pay it back, but I think you've clearly been closed, so what makes you ask that?
Well, because
Something on TV or
because I'm getting the pension payment as well. I don't watch TV.
and get a
Too
pension.
depressing.
Yeah, well, do I have to talk about this on this recording? It's
No, we can stop the recording.
a bit personal. So
Yeah.
yeah. All right. Well, thanks for that,
All right.
Ali.
Thank you. That was
Thanks.
good. I learned a few things.
It was good practice. I was able to share the screen as well, so that was good.
Yeah, that worked well. Yeah, I could see that. At the beginning, the first screen that you shared was really tiny, but then when you got into really talking about it, it was bigger and I could see it. So
well, maybe, I don't know if you maximised it, right? I had it maximised.
it maximised itself.
Yeah.
It covered my whole screen.
Good.
And then we were little pictures up the top.
Yeah.
So it worked. That worked well. Yeah.
All right, cool.
Great.
Thanks so much for coming, Ali. I really appreciate it.
All right.
Any ideas what you want next month?
How to make more money.
How to make more money.
That's always, what a business wants, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a good idea.
More easily and more quickly. Yeah.
Yeah.
With getting back into business or back into work mode or whatever it's called after 2 months off, 2 months enforced holiday where you can't go anywhere.
Yeah.
Especially not to India when you had planned. I mean, that was the good thing. I had a bit of extra money because I was saving for the holiday. So that helped me initially until the JobKeeper came through.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
All right. So you don't mind I've recorded it? I'll send you a copy of the recording.
Yep. Okay. Great. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, have a great day and week. I'll see you soon.
See ya. Bye.
Yeah. Bye.